This is the Blackout Podcast.
Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to people that do amazing things, like my friend. You know what? I always want to call your Chinese name, so I'm gonna try.
Wang Yijie.
Wang Yijie.
Yes, my Chinese name.
That
Wang
was
Yijie.
cool. Ha! Okay, yeah. So, I mean, he's here in the city in Dal, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I'll let you introduce yourself, but I want to actually start with talking about HalifaxBusiness.com.
Yeah, Halifax dot business.
Halifax.business. Sorry,
Yeah.
shoot.
.com is old story now.
Halifax.business. Yeah. So tell me a bit about that.
Do I have to introduce myself first? Or-
Sure. Why
Okay.
not?
So my name is Wang Yijie, my Chinese name. I'm from China. People here in Canada call me William. Is my English name. Yeah. So I've been in Canada for almost 3 years. And I've been traveling around Canada. I came to Montreal first, and then Toronto and Halifax. So now I'm going to Dalhousie University, taking applied computer science. Now it's second year.
Wow.
Yeah.
How's applied computer science?
Oh, applied computer science. So I always tell people the difference between applied computer science and computer science, and I think it's one of the best programs at Dow. So have you heard of a information system like business technology management?
Yep.
So basically, applied computer science is like a middle ground between business degree and computer science degree. So computer science people, they make technology, and applied computer science is like its name, like apply. We apply technology to into business world to make it more practical, make processes more efficient and effective. Yeah.
Okay. So like, what are some of the things you learn in this program?
Many things that I learned from this degree, this program so far is I'm not really patient enough for programming.
What program languages have you learned so far?
I've been learning C, PHP, Java, and HTML, some like website scripting languages, and yeah, mostly just Java and PHP. And I don't think I'm the best programmer, and most of the time I'm just not patient enough. Like I'd rather just recording videos or just eating food or going out, meeting people, talking with people instead of programming. But I know, no excuse. I need to spend more time on programming. It's my degree.
Wow.
Yeah.
So C and Java and PHP.
Yeah. C and Java, PHP. Yeah.
Flip. Hate C, man. Actually, I hate program. Well, no, I won't say hate. I think there are people that can program.
Yeah, they
and,
love it.
Oh my God, right?
I think it really depends. Actually, yesterday I had a really interesting conversation with one of my friends who is really good at computer science. And he said in the beginning he didn't like computer science either because he wasn't good at it. But until he got like deeper and deeper, he knew more and more about computer science. He actually got more interested in computer science. I feel like any discipline, as long as you know something about it, you know a little bit, you know what you're doing, you'll be interested because if you're not interested about discipline at all, in no way you'll be interested because you know nothing about it, right?
Yeah, well, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you never make videos, like how comes I would be interested about making videos, right?
So 3 years you've been in Canada now.
Yeah,
and
almost
you were,
3 years.
Yeah, and so you're Chinese. Did you leave anywhere else before you moved to Canada?
Just China,
Oh, okay. So straight from China.
straight from China.
How did you decide to come study in Canada?
Many reasons. First of all, I like Canada. Also, I was in international school in China. So basically, all the students were meant to go to mostly American universities after they graduate from high school, and I was one of them. But like tuition in the States is really high, and the education, actually the quality of education in Canada and the States are pretty similar in North American system. And also I have relatives, my aunt, my uncle, my cousins, a lot of relatives in Canada living in Toronto. So that would be nicer, considering the money and time, and also my relatives. It'd be a better idea to go to Canada. And also, I left China after grade 11. I didn't finish my high school in China. Actually, I finished my high school in Canada. It was like tricky
okay.
story. So you guys all know, like, the difference between domestic student and international student. They pay different tuition fee. And it's way higher for international students. So some people, they want to get their like permanent residency first, so they can pay like less tuition. So actually, my parents wanted me to get immigration done first and then apply to university. So that was a immigration program in Quebec. It's called PEQ, if I'm not mistaken. Basically, you have to learn French. Obviously, it's a French-spoken province. Also, you finish a degree, like a college degree, like CJEP, and like 2-year, 3-year program. And you finish that and you finish your French program, and you can apply for immigration. So I was planning to do that. So I was in Montreal. That was my first Canadian city.
Gotcha.
But I didn't really like it.
What didn't you like about it?
So the college basically was tailored for people who want to immigrate to Canada. So like academic atmosphere wasn't really good. So all the people were like, "Oh, I just want to get my immigration done. I just want." It wasn't even a proper college. So basically, it's like a 2 floors, like office buildings. They're like small corner. Yeah, like. Everybody wanted, like, desperately immigrate to Canada, so I didn't like it. Also, I had to learn French because I didn't really speak much English 3 years ago. So my priority technically was learning French, because in order to immigrate through Quebec, I have to learn French. But I focused like 90% of my attention on English. And I watch YouTube videos, I listen to podcasts. So I basically ignored French. Also, I didn't like that college. So I decided to go to university. But that was already too late. That was like 2017, like February. It would be really late for, because I didn't finish my grade 12. So in order to apply for university, I have to have my grade 12 transcript. But that was too late to finish an entire year of grade 12 studies. Right, I only had half year from like from February to like June to May. So only like 3 or 4 months, and it'll be impossible to finish your entire grade 12, right? But that was like really the adventurous story. And I went to Toronto because in Toronto there are a lot of private schools, and you can tailor your courses. So I ended up taking 8 courses at the same time.
Oh wow!
And I finished 8 courses in like 3 months, including yeah, really intense.
Did you have a life for those 3 months?
Yeah, no, not at all, not at all. I was struggling a lot. Also, besides 8 courses, also I had to do like language efficiency tests, like IELTS. You know IELTS, right? For people who don't really speak English as first language. That was a lot of work. And also I was in a Russian school, a Russian community. So like most of the students, their parents are from like Russia or Eastern Europe. So I was pretty much the only Chinese student.
Wow.
I was really nervous. Yeah.
But I mean, you did it in 3 months. So anyway, you finished this course and then
Then I applied for universities. I applied many universities. Like Dalhousie was one of university I applied. Actually, my parents, even my grandparents, wanted me to stay in Toronto, but my mindset was simple. Just like, I just came to the new country, like Canada. I want to explore. I wanted to go to different places, and I want to go somewhere as far as possible from Toronto and Montreal. So the reason I chose Dalhousie was simple, just because like Halifax, the name sounds really cool. Just Halifax, and it's nearby the ocean, and just okay, sounds cool. It's not a place like international student would normally go, so I just go there and I applied for Dalhousie, and here I am.
And how's it? How long have you been here now? Like in Halifax?
Halifax. I came to Halifax in 2017 June.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's
it'll be
almost 2 years.
soon.
Almost
And
2 years.
how's it been for you?
Oh, great. And because I've been to other cities before, there's like shared comparison, between other cities and Halifax. And the biggest difference is Halifax is small and people are more friendly. People like talking about, oh, people in Halifax are friendly. uh, and I've been having some jobs, like working in Halifax and meeting a lot of people, a lot of friends. I've been going to school here, and so far I think Halifax has a lot of potential. And I like cities, like really small, really comfy little place. Yeah.
Okay, so then you came in, then actually cycling back to Halifax or business. What made you decide to start that?
Okay, Halifax.business. What is Halifax.business? Halifax.business is a business directory, hyper-local business directory focusing on businesses in Halifax. So basically, I had this idea with my business partner, Nader Najed. If you guys know him, he's doing YouTube in Halifax. So I remember was this year, like January, and we're talking about some like situation in Nova Scotia in Halifax. Just like people here, they compared to other cities, other provinces, people do things on old ways normally, and they're not that progressive, like the way they do things, do businesses. And because we do YouTube, like me, my partner Nada, we do a lot of YouTube videos, but we found it's like really hard to do YouTube in Halifax because like people don't really care about Halifax, people don't really search Halifax. So what I was thinking is the only way for Halifax to be better off, to be more well known by people, is to make Halifax more cool. And with more like multimedia exposure, with more video creators, like creative people, talented people. So one of the best ways to kind of transform how businesses do things and do like marketing, do the social media, do on so many different levels. I know in Halifax there's some businesses, there are really good examples about like creative marketing. Like we all know the donuts place, Fando Donuts. They do like donut burgers. So we just want to create a platform where businesses can share their story and they can share their videos and pictures. So it's such like a multimedia platform, so they can showcase themselves to the world, to the more audiences, not only people living in Halifax, also people living other cities in Canada and other countries even. So my vision is in the future when people think about cool places to visit, to go, they don't think about Halifax, right? They go to LA, they go to New York, they go to Tokyo. So my expectation is in the future when people think about fun things to go, like cool places to go, they think about Halifax. Oh, let's go to Halifax. Yeah. So now we just started. It's been a month. We're adding more businesses every day, and it's been going really well. But also, I'm personally struggling with the schoolwork, kind of a balance between, because I'm still like second year student. It's a lot of schoolwork.
Yeah.
Yeah. So after I finish this semester on my finals, I can just refocus. I focus more on business.
So you couple more weeks left, or?
My last final, 22nd, is like 2 more weeks.
Sweet.
Yeah.
I mean, you have a lot of work to do, but still, once you're done, so it's straight back to why did you guys decide to go with .business?
.business.
Because it's more expensive than .com, right?
It's not that. .business is not really popular. People are still buying to the idea of .com. Actually, I don't own any .com domains. I have .co, .net, and .business. I don't have .com because .com is pretty hard to get. And also, we just want to come up with a catchy name, like Halifax.business. Short, simple, straightforward. Halifax.business. Business, Halifax. Business in Halifax. Another reason is we're not really good at making names and naming. Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I remember getting on the website. It's super sleek. It does what it's supposed to do. Even if you've not used websites, like my grandmother would be able to use it because it's like put this here, and then press submit, and it's done. Yeah, it was great to use it. And how do you guys decide on the color schemes?
Color scheme?
The colors for the website.
Oh, the color. Actually, is based on a logo we got from freelancer.com. So,
What was the brief you sent to the freelancer?
so like freelancer.com, there are many like platforms out there. You can get freelancers to design logos for you, like Fiverr.com, freelancers.com, and we're looking for we're having like contests on freelancer.com, so people can submit their entries and we can select the best one, right? So pretty much 90% of the logos submitted were bad, like garbage. But we got one was really cool, just like the capital letter H and B, and the base color is like orange color. So we just wanted to make that to be the theme color of our website. Pretty lazy.
Makes sense. I mean, what I feel is once when you ask people to design logos for you, once you get that logo you want, it just makes sense.
Yeah, you kind of follow it because you have to keep the entire website to be consistent. It's really important. One of the most important elements of website design, you have to keep the theme, keep the color contrast has to be consistent. And if your logo is kind of orange, if the structure of the website is orange too, people can feel it's related. It's kind of becomes the color of the brand. Yeah.
You've been here 2 years, well, in Canada for a whole 3 years now, and it's all been positive mostly. Have you had some negative experiences?
Oh, of course, a lot.
What are some of the what are some of the negative experiences?
Language issue was the biggest problem, and the first problem I had to resolve, because if you can't communicate with people properly, you can't do anything, right? And I came to Canada 3 years ago, fresh off the boat, and I didn't really speak much English. And I was really nervous in the beginning. I was nervous, like, even going grocery shopping. I was nervous about talking to cashiers. They might think I'm stupid. So at the beginning, I had a really hard time making myself clear. So I went to like TD Bank to get my first bank account. I couldn't understand what he was talking about. Yeah, so I remember...
I don't know that.
Yeah.
I think TD Bank kind of hire a lot of Chinese people. Do they have like a translator thing when you went?
The TD Bank I went to was in Montreal. I didn't see many like Chinese translators.
I'm talking of here. I'm talking of here, the one I know.
Yeah, also one of my issues is... my pronunciation, my accent are not that bad, so a lot of people might assume I have a good English in the beginning. Because like I kind of good at mimicking different sounds. So even first time I came to Canada, my pronunciation wasn't that bad. So people just assume I have a good English, and they spoke really like fast to me. I just couldn't understand. Like, can you repeat it? Yeah. Also, like, about opening a bank account is like really like a big thing, right? You have to listen to everything, like all the details. But I was nervous. I was sweating. It was really awkward.
Did you actually get to open the account that day?
Yeah, I opened it.
Okay.
But I missed one really important information. Was to switch my account to student account. So I ended up losing like a couple $100. I didn't even notice. Because, in Canada, you got to pay like a certain amount of fee, like monthly fee to the bank, right? Unless you have a student account. I didn't know that. Because in China, we don't have something like that. Yeah, people just put money in the bank.
What are some differences? Because I know before, we've talked before, and you said that you didn't use YouTube and Facebook till 3 years ago. What are some of the differences you've noticed between China and Canada since moving here?
Oh, there are so many differences, like entirely like two different worlds. So first of all, more freedom of speech in Canada. You can say whatever you want technically. But of course, like people sometimes judge people about like politically, correctness and incorrectness. But overall, so much more freedom in Canada. You gotta. It's kind of like the world of information is right in front of you. It's your choice to absorb certain types of information. But in China, information is kind of singular. Just you only get information that government wants you to know. Right,
But I know websites or like people that try to subvert that and try to give information that
VPN.
yeah.
I was using VPN in China.
How's that working?
So I remember 3 years ago, there are not a lot of like free VPNs in Apple stores. You could just download it. Some of them they charge like monthly fee if you wanted like higher speed, but some of them were free. I was using the free one, so I registered my Facebook and Instagram in China actually. Also my Google account, everything I registered in China because I couldn't wait to explore different type of stuff.
Yeah.
But now because since I came to Canada, I haven't been back to China. It's been 3 years. I heard many of my friends saying now China's banning all sorts of VPN. You cannot really find any VPN in Apple Store, not even a paid one.
Wow.
Yeah, so they're really trying to control it, as far as I know.
So are you visiting China anytime soon?
I really miss China. It's
What do
been
you miss
3
about
years.
it?
Family, obviously, and food. Mostly food.
So the Chinese
Yeah.
food here is not Chinese food.
I mean, a lot of Chinese people, they like saying, okay, it's not authentic, or even Canadian people, they like to say they're not authentic. I think Chinese food here are not that bad or nice, just not the food I used to eat in China.
No, okay.
But you can't say they're fake Chinese food, but because for me, the food is always like evolving, right? And as long as you make it delicious, I'm fine with that. But, food here are not bad, but from time to time, I also like miss the taste from hometown. There's some certain taste you can only get from where you were born, right? So I miss my family, miss food, and just miss the overall vibe in China. Because I also heard there are many changes going on in China right now. And when I left my hometown didn't have a subway.
Oh,
Now we have subway.
nice.
So it's really
What's your
efficient.
hometown called?
Xuzhou,
Okay.
Zhou. It's not Suzhou. Xuzhou. When I left my hometown, also we didn't have like skyscraper in downtown. Now we have skyscraper.
Oh, okay.
Really fast, buildings, infrastructures.
But in
In
3
China built really
years-
fast, but we're really under the process, but it wasn't like fully
Yeah.
functional. But now they're all open for customers and
Okay.
people.
That is cool.
Yeah.
And so how did you get into YouTube?
Because I watched a lot of YouTube, and YouTube was the most important way to help me to learn English, everyday English, like daily English, and because I love YouTube so much. Just imagine like for past 18 years, you never had YouTube before, but suddenly you have free access to YouTube. Because in China, I always fantasize about like social media and YouTube in Western countries, because I was curious, because I was only able to use some like Chinese social media, pretty like. Sometimes you got bored of it, right? So when I came to Canada in the first year, I got to watch like a lot of YouTube videos. So I got inspired by it, like because people can, even just normal people, but they show their daily life. They edit the videos, they edit the footage, and show kind of voice their messages to the outside world. Because I believe like everybody has their opinions, their value to say, and but because the society, a lot of people, they can't really fully talk about the ideas, but YouTube gives everybody an opportunity to fully voice their own opinions to the world.
Yeah.
So that's that's the reason I love YouTube that much. So because I love talking, I have like sometimes a lot of energy. Even English is not my first language, but it's also a challenge. I think by doing YouTube, not only I can want to give me opportunity to be creative, to voice my opinion, to send out messages. Also, it's a great way to push my English to the next level, because I have to enunciate, to articulate myself in order for people to understand. So it's been really good. So now I can say I improve a lot my speaking, my like articulation, pronunciation by doing YouTube.
Sweet. Do you remember the first YouTube video you made?
Oh, I remember.
What was it?
It was a haircut by my friend. Because getting a haircut in Canada is really expensive. And it costs like 20 to 30 bucks, at least in Halifax. Back in China, it's so cheap. If you transfer the currency, it would be just $1 or $2 in
What?
China. Yeah.
Same haircut.
Same haircut, yeah. But probably it's getting more expensive in China. I don't really know.
Fair enough.
So because really expensive, also one of my friends, he said, I can cut your hair. Okay, so sounds cool. Save my money. Also, it's pretty interesting. I can put it on YouTube. Also, by that time, I was really planning to do YouTube. I just didn't have a good idea to kickstart my YouTube channel. So, okay, let's do it. And I didn't have a camera. I was using my phone, iPhone SE. It's like small phone. It's still the phone I'm using right now. And I was just recording the entire process. And the video is not even on landscape mode. It's just like, yeah.
It's like for Instagram.
Yeah, it's for Instagram. Pretty professional. It's like short, like few minutes video.
Okay. And how do you compare YouTube and Instagram?
YouTube it needs more work in YouTube, more editing, more time, and you need to be more dedicated about YouTube because Instagram. Of course, there are a lot of work need to be done about Instagram too. You have to post consistently, do research on your hashtags. But YouTube, you have to know, it's just more skill demanding. You have to be comfortable talking to camera. You have to do research about your targeting audiences. You have to do research about your niche. Also, you have to keep track on your traffic, your views, your subscribers. Just overall so much more works. Also, like Instagram is it's more accessible. People just get their phone and they can check out people's stories and posts. YouTube it's a little bit hard to. It's still like people still watch YouTube a lot, but compared to Instagram, you get instant impression, instant content right away from snap of fingers. But YouTube is you have to intentionally go on to YouTube and searching for videos. But just definitely more work about YouTube, and but I like both. They're both really good platforms.
What advice do you have to someone that would want to start a YouTube channel?
Like my channel is not really big, to be honest. I'm pretty much just a beginner. But my advice is to don't start a channel just you want to start a channel. Find your passion. Figure out what you want to do first. Because now I was confused. I'm still confused, I can say. Because I came to a new country, right? In Canada, so many things are so interesting. I just want to make videos about everything. I want to make videos about food, about languages, about international students, about life. But it's not recommended if you really want to grow your channel to have loyal subscribers and more views. You have to really focus on a specific niche. And you have to, you don't have to make yourself really, for example, some people looking for really different niche. They want to make videos that other people don't usually make, but it's not really necessarily the case because as long as you're creative, you can even make boring topics like kind of a supposedly boring videos more interesting because I watch some YouTubers, their daily life just simple, like they go to work, they go to school, but they for example they do cinematic close-up shots. They do some special tricks so people are more interested, right? So find your passion, and once you find your passion and be consistent with it and trying to differentiate yourself. You can differentiate yourself by having more cinematic shots, or differentiate yourself by kind of a more deeper voiceover or something like that. I don't know, you name it. But consistency is the number one key. Okay. Consistency, you have to post at least recommended twice a week, even more, but at least once a week.
At least once a week. Okay. Yeah. I'm going to end it with this one. And because you and Nada did something crazy. It was a snowstorm in Halifax.
Oh, yeah.
And then you guys just decided, you know what? We're going to go shoot a video. I want to walk me through the idea to make this video and how you guys went ahead to make it.
So, because that video, at that point, we had just started Halifax business 1 week or 2 weeks. Oh, okay. And we were so excited, so passionate. We're gonna get more pictures in our personal Instagrams, get more exposure. The day I remember was one of the biggest snowstorms I ever seen in Halifax,
Yeah.
in Canada, and school was closed. Campuses were closed. I don't have school. I was so happy about it.
Yeah.
And we were looking outside, like tons of snow. Okay, let's do photo
And it was
shoots.
windy too.
Yeah, it was windy. but we're just like at the crazy mode because we just launched a new business directory. We want to do everything. We're so passionate. So we just want to get more content, get crazy content into our personal Instagram and YouTube. So we just decided to go out. Also, we call one of our friends who happens to be like a photographer, doing photography stuff. And we went to waterfront together. Yeah, I was crazy that the wind was like just blowing our heads, and it's pretty painful actually, just like.
Another went topless also.
Oh yeah.
That's just crazy.
We went to a Tim Hortons on a waterfront, and Nader suddenly had an idea. So he's always crazy. He's crazier when he goes on the public. It's normally quiet. Nader Najat. I gotta mention the full name. Nader Najat. You guys can search Halifax on YouTube. The first video is his video. Yeah, the biggest YouTuber in Halifax, Nova Scotia. So yeah, he's always crazy, and I decided to go outside to be topless. He said, "Oh, I've been lifting so much." I show my muscle. Also, he was like drinking Tim Hortons coffee at the same time.
Yeah.
So I was like Canada style.
That was crazy.
So that was only like 20 seconds. He was freezing. I was like, okay, I had to let's get it quick. Oh, I'm freezing. So that's
Anyway, man, thanks for coming in, William. I
Yeah.
appreciate this. I also actually forgot to thank you for the YouTube talk you and Nada
Yeah.
put together. That was amazing. I learned a lot of things from that I'm actually using on the podcast too.
Yeah.
So thanks for coming in
Thank you so
today.
much too. I really like love this product. I didn't know much about like Blackout podcast, but so far I've seen like you being interviewing so many like people, creative people like in the city, and I think it's really meaningful and necessary and important for Halifax, the city, to grow. We need to make Halifax more cool.
Halifax
Yeah,
is cool.
and thank you so much for having me. It's my very first time podcast. And,
Oh, wow,
Yeah, it's
okay.
my honor to be here.
No, thanks for coming in.
Yeah, thank you so much.
This is the Blackout Podcast. Thanks for listening.